And then they just push the appropriate jail.
Which one?
Thank you. State, what's your name? Counsel for the state?
Carson Hancock on behalf of the state.
Good morning. My name is Judge Keithan Frink. I'll be conducting magistrate court. The purpose of this is to advise you of your charges and bond defending. Please don't talk about your case. You have the right to remain silent. I suggest you use that right. There's an attorney from the Public Defender's Office, I believe, in the main jail. Is that right, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
What's your
We're
name?
here in the main jail.
What's
My
your
name's Javiera Sandar.
Sandar, spell your last name for me, counsel.
Sundar.
Sundar. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sundar. All right, Cheryl Pampin.
Charlene, main jail, Your Honor.
Charlene Pampin.
She's approaching.
All right. Ms. Pampin, you've been arrested for violation of a domestic violence injunction. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds the probable cause for the arrest. State, what's your position?
State would recommend $1,000 bond, Judge, as well as a no victim contact order. I understand they were traveling together, but this injunction was as of recent as September 25th of this year.
Thank you. Ms. Sundar?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does she have a record?
Nothing in Broward, Judge, that I saw.
Nothing in Broward?
Correct.
I'm going to release her on a $100 bond. No victim contact. Ma'am, don't have any contact with Mr. Juice Bean, William So. That's the term of the bond and also the injunction. All right, no contact with him. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Eliana Escobar Shativa.
Yes, Your Honor, main jail. We need a Spanish interpreter on this case, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
¿Cómo está?
Good morning, Your Honor. Spanish interpreter is present.
Good morning. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, sir.
You swear affirm to translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability. Thank you.
My pleasure, Your Honor.
Ms. Escobar, you've been arrested for domestic violence battery.
Señor, I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Señora Escobar, la han arrestado debido a que la acusan de agresión física en violencia intrafamiliar.
The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest.
El tribunal ha revisado el affidavit o la declaración juramentada y haya motivo fundado para detenerla.
State, does she have a record?
Nothing, Judge, that I can see.
El juez pregunta a la fiscalía. Fiscalía, ¿hay algún antecedente por parte de esta acusada? No, su señoría, no hay antecedentes.
State would recommend $1,000 bond, Judge, with a no victim contact order.
La fiscalía le pide al señor juez. Señor juez, por favor, recomiendo que le impongan una fianza de $1,000 y que no haya contacto ni comunicación con la víctima.
Your Honor, considering she has no criminal history, I'd request that she either be released on her own recognizance or the amount be lowered.
All right,
La abogada defensora ya presente en la cárcel le dice al señor juez, considerando que ella no tiene un antecedente penal, le pide que por favor la deje en libertad bajo su propia responsabilidad o que por lo menos le rebaje la fianza.
Por favor.
Please.
Ms. Escobar, you're going to be released on your own recognizance, no contact with, let's see here, Alexander Quintana.
Quintada, Your Honor. Quintada.
Quintana.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. Señora, la voy a dejar en libertad bajo su propia responsabilidad, pero no debe tener contacto ni comunicación con Alexander Quintana.
Do not call him, do not visit him, do not text him,
No lo llame, no lo visite, no le envíe mensajes de texto,
do not instant message him,
no le mande mensajes instantáneos,
do not Snapchat,
tampoco de la medio social que se llama Snapchat.
no Facebook messaging,
No le puede mandar mensajes por Facebook tampoco,
no contact through third persons.
ni tampoco debe tener contacto o comunicación a través de terceras personas.
Understand?
¿Entiende, señor? Señora, ¿entiende? Yes, I understand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Gracias, señoría.
Kayla Moody.
No problem, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. All right, Ms. Moody, you've been arrested for domestic battery by strangulation. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. State, does she have a record?
Judge, it appears she has a previous battery in 2014 here in Broward that looked to be a down file on a battery on a law enforcement officer. Additionally, Judge, she did have a previous domestic violence case, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon that was eventually dropped, but that would happen in 2017. State would recommend a $2,500 bond and a no victim contact on this case.
Your Honor, I spoke to Miss Moody this morning. She's lived in South Florida her whole life. From my understanding, her and the alleged victim live apart, so that won't be an issue. What I'm asking for, Your Honor, is a $1,000 bond.
All right. Based on the record and the allegations, the court will set bond at $750. No contact with the alleged victim, Madeline Hope Hyus, Hyhuys. That means do not call her, do not text her, don't instant message her, no social media contact at all, no contact by third persons. You understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well,
Marlene McCullum.
Main jail, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. McCullum, you've been arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic violence as well. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. State? Any priors?
Doesn't appear to be any prior history, Your Honor. State would recommend a $3,500 bond due to the nature of the facts of the case, as well as a no victim contact order.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Sundar.
Miss McCullum has lived in Florida for 32 years. She does have children that she takes care of. She has no criminal history. And I'd request that she be either released on her own recognizance or that the amount of the bond be significantly reduced.
Does she qualify for pretrial? All right. Does she have a place to stay?
Your Your Honor, the place to stay is where the alleged incident happened. She would like to remain there and have the alleged victim leave because she does take care of the children.
No.
Um, Your Honor, the situation with the children is one where, again, she is the main caretaker. The alleged victim, as my client states, has stage 4 cancer. He's not able to care for them.
So how's he able to leave then? All right, I'm gonna set a bond at, I'm gonna set bond at 1,000. No contact with Dennis McCullum. Do not call, do not text, no messages through third persons. Do you have children? Are the children with him?
Yes,
All right,
children are my main concern. I need to pick up the kids.
Your Honor, if that does happen, is she allowed to go with BSO?
yes.
Thank you.
You guys need to communicate about the kids, I assume. How old are the kids?
3, 12, and 16.
All right. Write this down, Ms. Sundar, for her.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's a program called Talking Parents. It's talkingparents.com. It's a way for Ms. McCullum and Mr. McCullum to send messages to each other. It's all logged on, it's all recorded. You communicate about the kids, only about the kids. If there's some threats or any other hostile messages, then that Talking Parents will be recording it, okay?
Okay,
All right. Good luck,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Your Honor.
thank you.
Jonathan De La Roca.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Mr. De La Roca, you've been arrested for domestic violence battery. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state?
No priors, Judge.
Ms.
David.
Sundar? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I said state recommend a standard $1,000 bond on this case.
Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, considering my client has no priors, he has lived here, he has a family. His mother resides in Florida. He's currently unemployed. I'd request RR.
The only thing I would respond, Judge, is just that it looks like he has 0 months of residence in his current address, and he's also from the state of New York.
My client stated to me he's lived here a 1.5 years, Your Honor, in Florida.
I'll do a pre-trial release. He qualifies, right? All right. Standard pre-trial release. No contact with Amber, Agnes, Incorvia. No phone calls, no texts, no social media contact, no contact. You understand? You heard?
Your Honor, he does reside in Punta Gorda, Florida.
Punta Gorda.
And that's where he's lived for a 1.5 years. Can pretrial still?
I'm sorry. No, you gotta reside in Tri-County area to get pretrial.
And Your Honor, and so that's why we're asking either for a lower bond amount or ROR.
I said
Again, he has no criminal history.
$100 bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I'm sorry, but on Jonathan De La Rocco, he does need access to his property to get cell phone contacts, if the court would allow.
Escort with BSO.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Jaime Negron.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Mr. Negron, you've been arrested for domestic violence battery. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. Any priors, Mr. Hancock?
Yes, Judge, he actually does have a pending case, aggravated assault, case number 1810154.
Currently on pre-trial for that case, Your Honor. We're asking for it to be revoked that you have gathered to found probable cause in this case.
Pretrial be revoked in 1810154.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Although I understand pretrial was revoked on the aggravated assault, I'm requesting that it be set on both cases. Once again, my client's currently unemployed. He's homeless. He's lived in Florida 23 years, and I understand that homeless shelters are a way for him to get pretrial.
Judge, and I would just respond with, he was out on pretrial release and then he commits a battery. I'm asking the court that, Your Honor, as you stated, revoke his pretrial release and set a $1,500 bond at least onto this battery case. But on the previous one, that's not really in front of Your Honor, I ask that you revoke it and hold him, no bond.
It will be held no bond on 1810154. Court will set $1,000 bond and for the new arrest.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For 1810154. 1,000. You're welcome.
And Judge, is that no victim contact on the new case as well?
Of course, no victim contact. Thank you. Gino Casco. He's been arrested for domestic violence battery. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state?
It appears he had a previous battery no pros case in 2017, but no other priors.
Your Honor, considering he has no other priors and he's lived in Florida 24 years, he does have family here, he does have a job, he's a roof technician. I'm requesting a bond amount that is reasonable.
Set him, qualifies for pretrial. Pretrial release without electronic monitoring. No contact with Yesenia Blanco. No phone calls. No text messages. I know you have children together. You may want to sign up for Talking Parents.
Your Honor, may he go with BSO to gather his belongings?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Daniel Williams.
May jail, Your Honor. How close up? Yeah, just stand next to me, just so to hear you.
Been arrested for domestic violence battery. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit. Court finds probable cause for the arrest, Mr. Williams. Any priors, Mr. Hancock?
None that I see, Judge.
You got, oh, you got oh, you got some stuff out of Jersey, Mr. Williams. I don't know if you heard all that, Ms. Sundar.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear it, I'm sorry.
As in 2011 and 2009, he was adjudicated for marijuana possession. He also had a criminal mischief that was dismissed and a possible warrant from Jersey for contempt of court from January 10th of 2018.
Your Honor, he has no priors in Florida and the priors in New Jersey, most of them, I believe, were misdemeanors. He has family here, his wife and kids. He's lived here for 2 years. He does have a job at Delphi and Lay. I'm requesting either the bond be set at a low amount or pretrial, Your Honor.
Did you qualify for pretrial? I'll place you on pretrial without monitoring. No contact with Susan Williams. No phone calls. No text message, no email. If you have belongings, you can get those with police escort.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Stephen Moser.
Main jail.
Mr. Moser, court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit for the arrest for a warrant, a violation of probation warrant from Judge McHugh's division. Court does find probable cause for the arrest. Looks like it's
Here she signed a no bond warrant, Judge.
no bond? Yeah,
Yes.
no bond warrant. So you're gonna see Judge McHugh on the 20th.
And Your Honor, just for the record, he did state he turned himself in.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. We need a Spanish interpreter for the next case, Your Honor.
All right. Jorge Peralta,
Ya pero después, señora.
hello again. Been arrested for domestic violence battery. Court's reviewed the probable cause affidavit, thus find probable cause for the arrest.
El señor Peralta lo han arrestado debido a una acusación de agresión física y violencia intrafamiliar. El tribunal ha revisado la declaración juramentada escrita y haya motivo fundado para detenerlo.
Any prior state?
Yes, Judge, he has a prior DUI in 2004, prior DUI in 2009, loitering and prowling in 2011, resisting without violence, 2 counts in 2012, a DUI and refusal.
So sorry, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I apologize.
Make the interpreter.
I forgot you were there.
No problem. Señor, el señor juez pide al señor fiscal que por favor le diga si hay antecedentes penales. Si su señoría hay antecedentes penales, en el 2004 lo acusaron de DUI, que es conducir bajo los efectos de bebidas alcohólicas o drogas. En el 2009 también lo acusaron de lo mismo. También lo acusaron de merodear o vagabundear. También lo acusaron de oponerse a la justicia. Your Honor, counsel, the interpreter was left at resisting without.
Yes. After resisting without, there was a 2018 DUI as well.
También después de acusarlo de oponerse a la justicia, lo acusaron en el 2018 también de DUI.
As well, Judge, it should be noted, there was a battery in domestic violence that was against the same victim in this case that was declined on July 25th of this year.
Señor, continúa el señor fiscal, señor juez, también hubo una acusación de agresión física en violencia intrafamiliar y era la misma víctima, pero esta acusación se desestimó y fue en julio 25 del 2018.
No other prior, Judge. The state would recommend a $2,500 bond.
Ms. Sundar? I'm sorry.
Debido a estos antecedentes, señor juez, pediría que le impongan una fianza de $2,500.
Your Honor, we'd request for the bond amount to be reduced. My client has lived in Florida 15 years. He can stay with a friend. He won't go back to the residence. He does have a job in catering.
Es la señora abogada defensora ya presente, le dice al señor juez, quisiéramos pedir que por favor nos reduzca la fianza. El señor Peralta ha vivido en la Florida por 15 años, puede ir a vivir con un amigo, no va a regresar a ese lugar y trabaja haciendo como servicios de catering.
Court will set bond at $1,000, no contact with Carmen Cayo, no phone calls, no text messages.
You don't make the interpret Cayo as in C-A-L-L-O or C-A-Y-O?
C-A-Y-O. How you say it?
Cayo. Oh, Cayo.
Cayo.
Cayo. Yes, Your Honor. In Colombia we say Cayo.
Oh,
Señor Peralta, le impongo una fianza de $1,000. No debe tener contacto ni comunicación con Carmen Cayo. No debe llamarla por teléfono. Your Honor, no phone calls. Your Honor.
No text messages,
no debe enviarle mensajes de texto,
no contact through third persons,
no debe comunicarse con ella a través de terceras personas,
no contact through any form of social media.
no se debe comunicar con ella a través de ningún medio de comunicación.
If you have any, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Jan. Go ahead.
No, if you have any belongings, you may retrieve them with a police escort.
Si usted tiene alguna pertenencia que tenga que retirar de allí, usted tiene que hacerlo llevando como acompañante a un policía.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Gracias, señor. Thank you.
Joshua Hedges,
Your Honor, give him a second, please, if you don't mind.
no,
He has-
he's all right. Can you hear me from there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You want to sit down?
No, I'm good.
All right. You've been arrested for, you had a warrant out for a battery from Judge McHugh. She set a bond at $2,000. The court has reviewed the arrest affidavit, finds probable cause. And once again, she set bond at $2,000, all right?
Your Honor, is there an offer from the bench at this time?
Now, Judge McHugh set this, and I'll let her take care of it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Dion Daniels. Mr. Daniels has been arrested for domestic violence battery and possession of ecstasy. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavits, does find probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state? No problem.
You had a 2016 resisting without violence, 2015 battery that was null prost, 2015 aggravated assault deadly weapon that was declined by the state. He pled to 2014 petty theft, 2014 unlawful use of false name, 2012 resisting without violence, possession of cannabis, 2012 grand theft, and 2007 leaving the scene of an accident with property damage.
Thank you, Mr. Hancock.
Yes, Judge.
What are you
The
asking for?
state would ask the court for a $2,000 bond with a pretrial release with a GPS. We did make contact with the victim in the case, and she does have some concern.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, we'd request that the $2,000 bond be reduced on count one. My client does have family here. He has lived in Florida 31 years. He's currently on disability. And aside from the grand theft and leaving the scene of an accident, all his prior histories misdemeanors.
Court will set bond on count one at 1,000, count two at 1,000.
Judge, that includes no victim contact as well?
Absolutely no contact with the victim, the alleged victim, I should say. Shebron Campbell, no phone calls, text messages, social media messages, or messages from third persons. Thank you.
Thank you.
Emmanuel Lewis.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, you've been arrested for burglary with battery, aggravated assault with deadly weapon. Actually, count one is burglary with assault or battery. Count two is aggravated assault with deadly weapon. Count three is tampering and second-degree felony proceeding. Count four is domestic violence battery. Count five is criminal mischief under $1,000. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. And court notes state there's a pending case, 2017-3780 CF10A,
Yes, Judge, battery, domestic strangulation.
same alleged victim.
One moment, I'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
No, Judge, it appears to be a different victim.
Different victim?
Yes, Judge.
Is he out on bond on that, on the 17 case?
Yes, Judge, he is at on bond.
What do you recommend, sir?
Well, on this case, Judge, we'd ask the court to find proof evident presumption great as to count one and hold him no bond until he can appear in front of the division judge.
And what about the 17 case?
At this point, Judge, I can't ask the court. I don't want to ask the court necessarily. It's within Your Honor's discretion, though, if Your Honor wants to do anything with that bond.
Ms. Sundar?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
That's all right.
I don't believe the PC meets the proof evident presumption great standard. And my client currently is not able to afford the bond. I'd ask for it to be reduced, and if not, he be released on pretrial, Your Honor. He's lives in Florida for 22 years, all his life. He's going to school. He lives with his mother. So he doesn't even have to have contact with the alleged victim.
The court does not find proof evident presumption great to hold him without bond. So the court will set bond on count one at $10,000, count two, $10,000, count three, 5, 4, it's gonna be 2,500, and 5 is gonna be 250.
Judge, would Your Honor be inclined to put him on pretrial with GPS monitor at the least, if Your Honor is not, due to the nature of the facts of the case and the fact that he does have a pending violent crime?
Well, we'll see what happens, but the court's gonna revoke the bond on 173780.
Your Honor, would the court be inclined, instead of the bond amount, just release him on pretrial? He's in school and about to finish the semester. He's gonna miss classes.
No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. No contact with, what is it? No contact with the alleged victim, Trinity Taylor. No phone calls, no messages, no contact. Thank you. Jonathan Bonifant. Mr. Bonifant, you've been arrested for violation of probation. Jeffrey Cohen, Judge Jeffrey Cohen's division. Court does find probable cause for the arrest. You're going to be seen by Judge Cohen on the 20th at 8:30. Anything else, Ms. Sundar?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bonifant. Mr. Is it Beal?
I believe so, Your Honor. Bell.
Bell. Mr. Bell, you're arrested for possession of cocaine. You also have a warrant out for a violation of probation or community control. The court does find probable cause for the arrest. You're going to be held no bond on the violation of probation. And will set bond at $1,000 on the possession of cocaine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're seen by the judge on the 20th.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Megan Bradford.
All right, Your Honor.
Paul Ryan. All right. Hi, Ms. Bradford.
Good morning.
Good morning. You've been arrested for petty theft. Looks like there's a capias out for you.
There was, yes.
All right. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. State, does she have any priors?
It appears possibly has some misdemeanor priors, Judge. For some reason, I can't pull it up.
Okay. What's your recommendation, State?
Judge, since it was a capias, the $500 bond amount that the judge had issued previously, I'd asked the court to honor that bond amount for $500.
Your Honor, given that Ms. Bradford's still in custody, I'm assuming she can't afford the bond, otherwise she wouldn't be in front of us today. I'm asking Your Honor either one of two things. If Ms. Bradford potentially wants to resolve this today, I would ask Your Honor if you would offer time served. I know Your Honor probably doesn't have the actual PC. It's on the clerk's website. What I could tell Your Honor, looking at it myself, it seems to have been at a target that the allegations are that Ms. Bradford left the target with some Red Bull that without paying. That's the allegation. I'm asking Your Honor if you would potentially offer her just time served so she could end the case today.
Want to resolve it with time served, ma'am?
If that's possible, yes.
All right. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear to.
What's your full name?
Megan Patricia Bradford.
All right, it's my understanding from Mr. Dessler here from the Public Defender's Office that you want to resolve this case, and the court will offer time served. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Is anyone forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol or
No,
anything
sir.
that's affecting your ability to make decisions?
No, sir.
You ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, sir.
And you're not taking any medications for mental illness at this time?
No, sir.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that by accepting this plea and entering a plea of guilty or no contest, that you are waiving your rights to a trial?
Yes.
All right. And how do you plead? Guilty or no contest? All right. Court will accept your plea of no contest, find that is freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit and the proffer from Mr. Dessler and accepts your plea. The court will sentence you to time served. You have 30 days to appeal. Thank you, ma'am.
So what is that?
That means you're done.
Thank you. Lord, I look crazy.
I'm sorry? Oh, yes. Yeah, waive court costs. Kaylin Hammonds McGee,
North Broward, John.
North Broward. Is it Kaylin?
Yes.
K-L-Y-N?
Yes, sir.
All right. You've been arrested for driving while license suspended. You also have violation of probation before Judge Lynch. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause with the arrest. And you're going to be seen by Judge Lynch on Tuesday. All right, you're going to being held no bond on the violations of probation. The court will set bond at $100 for the driving while license suspended. You understand, Ms. Hammonds?
Yes, sir.
Is it Hammonds or Hammonds McGee?
Hammonds is fine.
All right, ma'am. You have a good one. Take care.
Thank you.
Amanda Harrod,
No problem.
North Broward. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
You got some capias out there for you. Possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of drug paraphernalia from Judge Tobin Singer, the first two, and a misdemeanor capias as well. You're going to be seen by Judge Tobin Singer on the 20th, and I think it's Judge Zeller? Yep, Judge Zeller on the 21st. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. All right, so you'll be seen by those judges this week on Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
You take care, ma'am. Akila Jones.
No problem.
Ms. Jones, you've been arrested for grand theft. You're also being held no bond for probation or community control. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest.
Your Honor, I spoke to Ms. Jones this morning.
Yes,
Normally,
sir.
I would, have no objection to her being held no bond because of the BOPs.
Yes, sir.
However, she's currently 8 months pregnant, and from my understanding, she's due in the very near future. The violation of probation holds her because of the new arrest. It's
Right.
not because of an outstanding warrant. I'm asking if there's any way we could hold her something other than no bond, even if it's electronic monitoring with her at home, that she can't leave the house under any circumstances other than to go to the hospital. I'm just concerned with her being in custody while 8 months pregnant.
I understand, ma'am. But Judge Lynch will see you on the 20th, and he can decide whether he's going to give you a bond on that, on the violations or not, all right? I will set bond for the grand theft at $1,000 for the new charge.
Okay,
You take care, ma'am.
thank you.
Garces Reguferos.
And we're going to need a Spanish interpreter, please.
Sorry, thank you. Interpreter present, Your Honor.
All right, been previously sworn in.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been arrested, Miss, tell me her name, how to pronounce her name?
I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
That's okay.
Regiferos, Your Honor.
Miss Reguferos?
Regiferos.
Reguferos.
Yes, Your Honor.
I got
Very
the
good.
R, did I roll the R?
Very good.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been arrested for resisting an officer without violence, disorderly intoxication, and 3 counts of child neglect.
Señora Reguiferos, le han arrestado debido a que la acusan de oponerse a la justicia sin violencia, de embriagarse de manera que perturba la paz y tienen 3 acusaciones de abandonar o descuidar a un menor de edad causando grave daño corporal.
The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest.
El tribunal ha revisado la declaración escrita juramentada y haya motivo fundado para detenerla.
Your Honor, I'm actually objecting to the charges actually before us because the charges before us are neglect with great bodily harm. I do not see that. I would have no objection to the lower charge without bodily harm, but I'm not seeing great bodily harm.
El señor abogado defensor aquí presente en el tribunal le dice al señor juez, voy a objecionar en cuanto a las acusaciones que tenemos ante nosotros. La acusación es de abandonar o descuidar a un menor causándole grave daño corporal. Realmente yo no veo el grave daño corporal al menor de edad. No protestaría en cuanto a que se le acuse de la acusación menos grave, que es sin causar grave daño corporal.
I have 2 questions, State. Any priors?
No prior search that I saw.
And does anyone know, oh, go ahead.
El señor juez le pregunta al fiscal, señor fiscal, ¿tiene antecedentes esta persona? No, su señoría, no hay antecedentes.
And where are the children now?
¿Y dónde están los niños en este momento? Pregunta a las personas aquí presentes.
That judge, I can't tell you. I mean, it's likely that DCF was in fact called due to the fact that there was no one there else to pick him up. So that I can't answer for the court.
El señor juez pregunta dónde están los niños en este momento. El señor fiscal responde, señor juez, no puedo responderle a esa pregunta. Parece que al Departamento de Niños y Familias se comunicaron con ellos, pero que no había quien recogiera a los niños.
They did not come in as part of the shelter hearings this morning.
Y no vinieron ante el juez como parte de estas audiencias de refugios por parte del Departamento de Niños y Familias.
Ms. Reguiferos, do you have family?
Señora Reguiferos, ¿usted tiene familia?
No, aquí solo mis hijos.
Not here, only my children.
The only thing I can say from the report, Judge, on the last page on the PC, it does indicate the children were released to the custody of a CPIS investigator.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though,
I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
TPS?
CPIS.
Oh, CPIS. El señor fiscal le dice al señor juez, lo único que le puedo decir es lo que han incluido en la última página del informe de la policía, del CPIS, y es que los niños los dejaron bajo la custodia de esta entidad, CPIS.
Say, what's your response to Mr. Dessler's argument that the charge should be basically child neglect with, he says there's no indication of great bodily harm?
Judge, in reviewing,
El señor juez le pregunta al señor fiscal, ¿qué opina usted en cuanto a la protesta que puso el abogado defensor, el señor Dessler, en cuanto a que no hay grave daño corporal, no se indica que haya habido grave daño corporal?
I believe in reading the PC, I don't see anywhere the officer actually indicates actual injury, so I would agree that without great bodily harm, which is a third-degree felony, if Your Honor can find probable cause for counts 3 and 4 as third-degree felonies.
El señor fiscal dice al señor juez, realmente como en esa declaración juramentada por escrito, el agente de la policía no indica que haya habido lesiones. De hecho, estaría de acuerdo con el abogado defensor en que es un delito grave de tercer grado, pero que le pida al señor juez que por favor haya motivo fundado para detenerla en cuanto a las acusaciones 3 y 4.
Thank you. You know she works, Mr. Dessler?
I would have to inquire now simply because I don't speak Spanish. So if Your Honor wants to inquire, I have no objection.
Mr.
El señor juez le pregunta al señor abogado defensor si usted puede pagar una fianza. El señor abogado defensor le dice al señor juez, debido a que no hablo español, no me puede comunicar, pero el señor juez puede hacerle la pregunta y no va a tener objeción en cuanto a esto.
Do you have a job, Ms. Reguiferos?
Señora Reguiferos, ¿tiene trabajo? ¿Trabaja?
No en este momento.
Not right now.
Okay. All right, the court will I didn't hear a recommendation, Mr.
Judge, I would recommend to count 1, the 100, count 2, the 25, and then counts 3 and 4, I recommend $1,500 on each.
I'm so sorry, Your Honor. For the second, $25?
Yes,
Okay,
$25.
thank you. Thank you. El señor juez le pide al señor fiscal si tiene alguna recomendación en cuanto a fianza. El señor fiscal se dirige al señor juez. Yo recomendaría que le impongan una fianza de $100 para la primera acusación, $25 para la segunda acusación y $1,500 para las acusaciones 3 y 4.
How long has she been a resident of Broward?
I am so sorry, Your Honor.
How long has she been a resident of Broward?
¿Cuánto tiempo hace que que reside en el condado de Broward?
Ms.
Como
Reggie?
6 meses.
6 meses? 6 months.
Como 6.
Perdón?
Sí, como 6.
Like 6 months.
Where were you before?
¿Dónde estaba anteriormente?
Miami-Dade.
Miami-Dade.
How long in Miami-Dade?
¿Por cuánto tiempo en Miami-Dade?
Como 2 años.
Like for 2 years.
Qualifies for pretrial? All right, I'll place you on pretrial release.
Señora, pregunta al señor juez.
Standard.
I'm so sorry, standard. Si usted califica para que, o reúne requisitos para que la dejen en libertad bajo los servicios especiales del tribunal, dicen que sí, entonces la van a dejar en libertad bajo los servicios especiales del tribunal y son los servicios de supervisión estándar.
Ok, gracias.
Thank you.
De nada. She's gonna have some more issues, Mr. Hancock. She'll be fine. She has to take, DCF is involved, so.
Yes, Judge.
Tiffany Sowers.
That's Paul Ryan, Your Honor, she refused.
Okay. Well, the court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit for the arrest of possession of ecstasy. Where's she at? Yeah, I just go in the front. I see you.
Okay.
I see you. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit for possession of ecstasy, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trespassing. The court does find probable cause. Court will set bond on count one at $1,000. 25 on count two, 25 on count three. Can we just see if there's any more Spanish? Can you just go through the jail? It's tough to go out of order. You just stick around? Sounds good. No problem. Sharon Shepard,
No problem, Your Honor.
North Broward. Ms. Shepard, you've been arrested for robbery, grand theft, retail theft, count 3 and count 4, and a grand theft as well. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. And so you stated she out on bond as well? 1812855 CF10A?
What was the case number, Judge? I apologize.
Yeah, 1812855 CF10A.
I believe.
Yes, Judge, she is out on bond on that case. It's set for an arraignment on 11/28.
It's actually one of the cases before us today. I'm fairly confident that counts
Oh.
3, 4, and
3, 4,
5.
and 5? Okay.
She also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 5 other pending cases.
5 other pending cases?
Yes, Judge. Case number 184688 CF10A. Case number 188588 CF10A. Case number 1812534 CF10A. And I guess with now these 2 other pending cases, so she has 5 total.
You got anything, Mr. Dessler?
Those are not before us, but the first case Your Honor mentioned, I believe, from the looks of it, that those are actually counts 3, 4, and 5. The other cases are not before us today.
All right. As to the robbery, the court will set bond at $10,000. And the grand theft charge or account, court will set bond at $5,000. Court will revoke any outstanding bonds on previous cases. You're going to be seen by, did it say what division those are?
Those are in front of Judge Siegel.
Judge Siegel's going to see you in, next week. You got arraignment before Judge Siegel on those other cases, all right, ma'am? You take care.
So what happened?
So you're being held on the new charges for a total of $15,000 bond. On the cases that you were out on bond for, I revoked those bonds.
Why those bonds been revoked?
Because you've been arrested for a new charge while you're out on bond. So I revoked those bonds, And you're gonna have arraignment for those previous charges that you're out on bond for next week before Judge Siegel. All right.
And could you explain to me how do I get a robbery?
Not right now. You'll have a chance to review the probable cause affidavit with your lawyer. Or maybe with the, with your lawyer either this week or next week.
And I go see Judge Siegel when?
Next week,
What day?
the 28th.
Okay.
Take care. LaTiffany Stokes,
She's out on medical loan, Your Honor.
on medical loan. All right, can we reset her for another day, y'all? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Main jail, Your Honor.
Lewis? All right, Mr. Lewis. You've been arrested for resisting without violence. You had a capias out for petty theft from Judge Carpenter Toy. She has a court date for you on the 20th.
Your Honor, would the court ROR on the first count and consider resolving on the second?
State?
Judge, unfortunately, this is a case that's in front of Judge Carpenter Toy. I don't have anything as far as any PCs or anything like that. I think it'd be appropriate to send the case to Judge Carpenter Toy with the $500 bond, as well as the $100 bond on this count one as well.
Your Honor, my client, aside from these two cases, doesn't have anything pending. He had a notice to appear he's under the belief in on count 2, and that's why he missed court. He's lived in Florida for 6 years. His family lives here. He's working on getting a security license.
I'll tell you what, I'll reduce the bond for the capias to 100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Count 1, resisting without violence, is going to be $100 bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Jason Blank,
No problem, Your Honor.
thank you. Mr. Blank, you have a capias for possession of cannabis from Judge Zeller's division. Any priors? State.
Judge, you had a 2014 uttering forge instrument. Other than that, I don't see anything else.
All right. Mr. Dessler?
From my understanding, Mr. Blank's parents are either in the process of posting bond. They might have actually already done it, so I'm just asking to leave everything the same. That's what Mr. Blank told me this morning.
All right, you want to leave everything the same, Mr. Blank?
What is that supposed to mean? What is the?
Mr. Blank, you told me that your parents are posting the bond for you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
If they're posting the bond, then I don't want to mess anything up.
But is there any way I could get like reinstated like from here? So when I jump out, I could just go straight into what I have to do? Or is there any way we could just drop the case?
I can't drop the case.
You could potentially ask the judge to resolve it today if you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
I'll go with the bond.
Okay.
I'll go with the bond.
Okay. Bond remains at $2,000, a high bond. Okay. All right. Enrique Ciosias?
My understanding, Your Honor, he only speaks Creole. We do not have a Creole interpreter today.
I don't want to say it's toy game. I'm okay. I don't know why they put me and they play games. I don't want to swear. I don't want to play game. I toy game. I don't take toy game judge.
Okay.
Jesus Christ is my judge.
So,
Right. All right, so you got a capias. Judge Lerner Wren is your judge.
well, Your Honor, but I'm going to ask Your Honor,
I don't want to.
if it's a no bond hold, I would ask to reset this for tomorrow so we can get a translator here. Because if it is a no bond hold, which it shows on the docket, He's not being prejudiced if we just bring it back tomorrow.
All right, we'll bring it back tomorrow, sir.
I just want to make sure someone can explain to him.
Got Judge Lerner Wren, there may be something going on there. Laos, Santos Lao.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Looks like you got a couple capious holds. One from Judge Miller, one from Judge Brown. First from Miller's is a trespass. Brown is a trespass as well. They got, Miller's bond is $500. Brown's bond is $2,500.
Your Honor, if I
Yes,
may.
yes, ma'am.
One of the KPS is a municipal ordinance, one is a misdemeanor. We'd like to request an offer from the bench today. He's lived in Florida 41 years, all his life. He's currently unemployed. He's not on probation and has no other cases pending in Florida.
Resolved with time served. You want to do that?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your full name.
Santos Lao.
Mr. Lau, you've been arrested for trespass, and, well, one counts trespass, the other counts trespass as well. Court is willing to resolve this with you with a plea of time served. Is that something you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone forcing you to do this?
No, sir.
Judge, I just want to point out to the court before you continue that
Yes, sir.
there is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about 9 previous trespasses, private property from 2018 and 2017. So I don't know if there's a bigger underlying issue, if it's the same address or anything like that, but I did just want to point that out to the court.
Thank you, Mr. Hancock. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Are you taking any medication for mental illness?
No, sir.
You ever been treated for mental illness?
No, sir.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right. By entering this plea, you're giving up your right to a trial. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. How do you plead?
No contest.
Court's going to find your plea of no contest free and voluntarily given. The court's reviewed the probable cause affidavit. Does find probable cause for the plea. Court sentences you to time served. You have 30 days to appeal. Thank you, Mr. Lau.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Both cases. Thank you. Jesse Leith.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hello.
Angel,
Good
Your
morning.
Hello. Davika Carr on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Public Defender and on behalf of Mr. Lee.
Do you have any more cases?
I do.
All right. When we're done with this, tell me which ones.
Okay, great.
I know what you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes. So first, Your Honor, I'm asking to be appointed to Mr. Leith. He would like the services of the Public Defender this morning.
All right. Sir, you've been held on it for a capious warrant, violation of ordinance. Court
Yes.
has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. We have Davika Carr here, who the court will appoint to represent you in this matter. Any prior state?
Judge, I can't actually pull this case up in my system due to the nature of it being a county ordinance, so I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just for the record,
Yes, Ms. Carr.
it's an alcoholic open container
Uh-huh.
beverage violation. He missed his arraignment on June 12th, and he would like to resolve to a no contest plea time served today, if Your Honor is so inclined.
All right. While you're looking that up, Mr. Hancock, Mr. Leith, can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Carr said, you can put your hand down, sir. Ms. Carr, who's been appointed to represent you, has indicated that you want to resolve this with the time served. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. The court is willing to do that. Is anyone forcing you to accept this offer of time served?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, and medication?
No, sir.
You ever been treated for mental illness?
No, sir.
Are you So you're not taking any medication for mental illness?
No, sir.
All right. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, you're giving up your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Court is going to accept your plea. And what do you plead?
No contest.
Courts accept your plea of no contest, finds it is freely and voluntarily entered. Court will sentence you to time served. Court does find probable cause to accept this plea as well. Your 30 days to appeal.
Thank you,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Carr. Thank you, Mr. Leith.
All right.
All right.
And the other individuals I have are both on page 28.
What was that?
Page 28, Your Honor,
Page
are my
28?
other two clients, yes. The first is Terrell Bradley Pierre. He's at Maine.
Let's go to page 28. Terrell Bradley Pierre.
And we only are asking to be appointed as to count 5, which is the municipal ordinance capias.
Okay.
I had told her to lower the bond. You know, I could resolve it. What if I want to resolve it?
Mr. Pierre, you've been arrested for possession with intent to sell cannabis, possession of cannabis over 20 grams. And you have a warrant out for possession of cannabis and one for possession of controlled substance. Ms. Carr has been appointed to represent you on the municipal ordinance violation. Which count is that, ma'am?
Count 5, Your Honor.
Count 5, that's possession of controlled substance.
Yes, it was possession of marijuana, and he missed his arraignment on June 18th.
Okay. Court finds probable cause for the arrest. You got a $500 bond on the possession of controlled substance, Ms. Carr, is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor. And I spoke to Mr. Pierre. He was looking to resolve the municipal ordinance case only if Your Honor is inclined to offer a withhold. However, if Your Honor is not so inclined, he is asking that the bond be lowered.
Considering that all the charges, I'm not going to resolve any of the cases or the municipal ordinance case to this morning.
I understand.
The bond will remain on the municipal ordinance case of $500. All right, the court will set bond on count 1. Oh, Ms. Sundar, do you have anything to add?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm representing him on counts 1 through 4. I'd request if he can be, I understand there's 2 capiases and you're not inclined to resolve today. I'm requesting that the bond amounts be lowered on counts 1, 2, and for him to be ROR'd on count 3. If the court is not inclined to lower the bond amounts, we're requesting pretrial. Once,
State.
Judge, the bond amount, I think, in the case is appropriate. He does have, again, the other pending case, the capias on the possession of cannabis and the possession of controlled substance. Then he picked up a new case with the possession with intent to sell, manufacture cocaine, and possession of cannabis, this time over 20 grams felony. I think the bond amount is appropriate in this case.
Count one is possession with intent to sell cannabis. I think there's a typo on the docket. Because I didn't see any indication of cocaine in the PC. So, count one, bond would be 1,000. Count two, bond would be 500. No bond for the expired tag, meaning, strike that, ROR for the expired tag. The capias for the, Ms. Carr, is that you, Judge,
No,
Judge
Your Honor.
Sellers Division?
No, Your Honor, that's a misdemeanor.
That's a misdemeanor? That's not yours. All right. She set that at 5,000. I'll keep it at 5,000. I don't know why. But I don't
Your
know, she may
Honor.
have a reason.
I understand that it's another judge's decision at 5,000. However, I would like the court to take into account that it is a misdemeanor possession case.
All right, I'll reduce that to 1,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Take care, Mr. Pierre.
Oh, Your Honor, he also needs access to his property under BSO supervision.
Why is
I
that?
took access his cell phone contacts just to get the numbers out of his phone so he can make phone calls.
All right. That's granted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, listen.
Who else you got, Ms. Carr?
The next individual, Duran Lamar Tiggett. He's also on page 28, Your Honor.
Mr. Tiggett?
He's approaching. And Your Honor, we've already been appointed to his municipal ordinance case previously. He would like to resolve it today, but I believe the public defender is going to stand in as to counts 1 and 2.
All right.
I did also review with him the consequences of resolving, especially understanding that he has the pending felony. Excuse me.
And whenever the court is ready, I'd like to be heard on counts 1 and 2, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Tiggett, you've been arrested for carrying a concealed weapon with firearm, resisting an officer without violence, and you have a capias for possession of controlled substance. Ms. Carr has been appointed to represent you on the possession of controlled substance. Public defender is representing you on the carrying concealed firearm and resisting without violence. Mr. Hancock, any priors?
Judge priors would be 2018 operating without a valid license. There was a 2017, it was no action, grand theft motor vehicle, and then there were multiple juvenile priors.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, as to count 2, I'd like to request for him to be ROR'd. On count 1, if the court would be inclined to reduce the bond amount.
What? I mean, it's already $1,000. It looks like it's a standard bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, what did you want it to reduce to?
500, Your Honor. Your Honor, 1,000 is fine. Can we please do ROR on count 2?
Okay.
Thank you, Your
1,000
Honor.
on count 1, ROR on count 2, 500 for the capias.
Your Honor, will you allow him to resolve the municipal ordinance case today? He just missed a calendar call on September 27th. No? Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. It's good seeing you. I need to sign anything for you? Come on. What? You're with Mr. McLaur's firm? Oh. All right. We left off at Justin Lowenstrom.
No problem.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Been arrested for petty thefts. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. Any priors?
Judge, priors are mostly municipal ordinances, a couple of trespass, and a couple of open carries.
Okay.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Lundstrom this morning. He would like to resolve to withhold and time served if possible.
I can't do withholding time, sir. I can't do withholding
Well,
time, sir.
you could take judicial notice of
I can't do withholding time, sir.
just a withhold.
Okay. Well, how can I do a withhold? How can I do a withhold?
You can't do the withhold?
No, I can't do, like, how can I do a withhold?
I don't think he has any adjudications.
Right, I understand if you're gonna time serve him, Judge, unfortunately, you'd have to be an adjudication, I don't
Right.
think.
But then you could take a judicial notice of the time that he served. Or the,
Does he have, the priors, are you able to look up anything?
Like I said, Judge, they were mostly, I see municipal ordinances, all from 2018, that go from disorderly conduct, public drunkenness, trespass private property, carrying open beverage in public, another public drunkenness, and looked like another trespass. All these were in 18.
Mr. Lowenstrom, I'll going to resolve it with an adjudication and time served. I'll waive court costs. If it's a withhold, then it's court costs. You understand? So basically, if you want a withhold of adjudication, you're gonna have to pay some money. If you just want the time served, it's an adjudication, meaning you're convicted, but it's a misdemeanor. What would you like to do?
Well, did we have to provide any money today? Because I don't have any money.
No, not with the adjudication time served.
Okay.
All right.
then-
Raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. What's your full name?
Justin Matthew Lowenstrom.
Mr. Lowenstrom, you've been arrested for petty theft. The court's going to resolve this with an adjudication, time served. Court will waive court costs. Is that something you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anybody forcing you to do it?
No, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No, Your Honor.
Are you being treated for any mental illness?
No, Your Honor.
You ever been treated for mental illness?
No.
Are you under the influence of any medication that's affecting your ability to make decisions today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right. You explained, well, strike that. You understand by entering this plea, you're giving up your right to a trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're going to get adjudicated, which means this is going to be on your record as a conviction for petty theft. If you get, is it 2 or 3 more? If you get 2 more misdemeanor petty thefts, then if for the 3rd arrest, you could be charged with a felony. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have prior petty thefts that you've been adjudicated for, these all count. You get a total of 3, then the next one is charged as a felony. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, these all add up. All right, so knowing that, you still want to accept the plea, resolve this today?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your plea? Guilty? No contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
Court will accept your plea of no contest is freely and voluntarily given. Court will adjudicate you, sentence you to time served, waive court cost. You have 30 days to appeal. Thank you, sir. You're done.
Thank you.
All right, go home, buddy.
Tommy German.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Back to you, Ms. Sundar. All right, Mr. German. You got a capias for trespass from Judge Diaz's division. Court has reviewed the PC, finds probable cause. Any priors, Mr. Hancock?
Yes, Judge, there's priors from 2017, petty theft, 2012, grand theft auto, 2010, possession of cannabis, 2008, delivery of cocaine, burglary of structure unoccupied, resisting without violence, offense
right.
against a police dog.
But
And
there's a bond of $500. The court's gonna keep that bond. You'll see Judge Diaz, go to, on, the 20th.
Your Honor, is the court inclined to resolve today?
Now, let's go see Judge Diaz. You got a $500 bond. Thank you. Giovanni Joseph. Mr. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning.
You've been charged with possession of cannabis under 20 grams. You got capias for operating without a valid license, failure to register. Court finds probable cause for the arrest. State, any priors?
previous no valid driver's license, judge, and the capias. Nothing else.
Ms. Sundar?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
Ms. Sundar? Yes, ma'am. What would you like to do?
Your Honor, my client is requesting if the court is inclined to resolve.
Yeah. With what?
All three cases, all three charges, Your Honor.
Okay.
My client currently is working. He's working for Less Company Movers. He lives with his mother. He's been in Florida 12 years, Your Honor. And he's looking to resolve today.
How old are you?
19.
You graduated high school?
No, I'm still going to school now, sir. Dave Thomas.
You need to finish school.
I'm still going to school, Dave Thomas.
I know, you need to finish school. You're 19, you need to finish school. All right. Court's willing to resolve these charges with adjudication and time served. As to count 1.
Convicted, okay.
Wait, what was the priors for?
Appeared for a no valid driver's license, and just to inform the court, the nature of the charge, I mean, there's some type of program or something available to him, instead of necessarily pleading it out today. I can't speak to exactly what that may be, but there may be other options than pleading it out.
I'll do a withhold on court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that something you want?
Is that what you want?
Withhold on
Yes,
court
sir.
costs? All right. Raise your right hand. Swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
What's your full name?
Giovanni Joseph.
All right, sir, you've been arrested for possession of cocaine. Strike that. Possession of cannabis. Sorry about that. Possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. You had a capias for operating without a valid license and failure to register a motor vehicle. The court's willing to resolve this with the withhold of adjudication and court costs as to all counts. Do you accept? Do you want to do that?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone forcing you to do that?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Are you ever been treated for mental illness?
No, sir.
Are you taking any medication for mental illness?
No, sir.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right. By entering this plea, you're waiving up your right to a trial. You understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead?
No contest.
Court accepts your plea of no contest. It's freely and voluntarily given. You have advice of counsel who's with you. The court will withhold adjudication as to count 1, possession of cannabis under 20 grams, operating without valid license, and failure to register a motor vehicle. Court costs will be assessed on all counts. You have 30 days to appeal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go finish school. Robert Allen.
This is my third time going to jail for the same garbage.
You're being held on a violation of an injunction. You got a $500 bond. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause. There's a $500 bond on this. Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, We'd request a lower amount, and if the court is not inclined, pre-trial. He's lived in Florida 44 years, all his life. He's an electrician, Your Honor, and this is a temporary injunction which he thought was taken care of a while ago. He's unaware of this injunction. It was supposed to last for a year, and he's unaware of it lasting longer. So he'd like to either resolve or be released on pre-trial, Your Honor.
A temporary injunction? Who was the alleged victim?
Well, Your Honor, my cousin put a temporary injunction on me,
Mm-hmm.
and then they took me to jail the same day.
Mm-hmm.
I went to jail, I bonded out. This is my third time coming to jail for the same injunction. I don't know how I'm supposed to get a court date when they already took me to the real court and gave me the injunction for 1 year. So
When
I
was
don't know
that?
how I can go for it.
When did you go to court?
It was in May. It was like in May that they gave him the injunction. I went in
2017?
front of a judge. Yes. No, 2018.
Oh, 2018. All right, so if it's for a year, then, okay.
No, I'm only violating on the temporary injunction, but they have given me the real injunction. So how do I keep coming to jail for the temporary? They gave me the real one after I went to jail for violating.
What judge
the
did you
temporary.
see?
I couldn't.
Kaplan?
I couldn't. No.
It's in front of Judge Carpenter Toy, Judge. But it does appear that the reason for this is there's capias that are continually issued for his failure to appear in court. So.
But I'm on a bond. Why they're not contacting the bondsman?
So I mean, what he's issuing, what he's explaining, is not something that really the court right now should consider. That's something the division judge should look into. I think the $500 bond is fair, given the fact that this appears to be the second time he failed to appear in front of Judge Carpenter Toy.
And Your Honor, my client's explaining he hasn't received any notices.
And I'm on a bond with a bondsman. He said he didn't get any notice of a court date either. So I don't understand how is that.
I don't have access to verify if he's been served or not, Your Honor, so someone could look into that.
It indicates, Judge, that notice was mailed to the bondsman and to himself both times.
He can call the bondsman himself right now. He don't got no court date.
All right.
And Your Honor, my client has just told me that the bondsman has not had a court date being told to him, and he also is unaware of any court dates.
I called the bondsman yesterday right in front of the police. He said, I didn't receive no bond, no court date for you yet, Mr. Allen.
What address do you have, state?
The address?
No, state.
2846.
No, hold on, state.
I have 2127 Northwest 6th Street, Fort Lauderdale, and then I have two bondsmen as well being noticed.
Who are the bonds?
Darrell F. Allen bail bonds and Paris M. Boyd bail bonds. I do think, though, that the $500 is for his failure to appear. His bondsmen were noticed. This is something that, again, I believe should be considered or dealt with in front of Judge Carpenter Toy.
Your Honor, if that's the case, I'm just requesting the court lower the bond amount and.
I done bonded out his bond 3 times.
I'll lower the bond to $100.
Yeah, still out there. How do I take care of this?
Go to court.
When?
The 20th.
You got court on the 20th.
Okay.
All right. You take care. All right. Nathaniel Tobias. Mr. Tobias, you've been arrested for DUI, second offense, and DUI of property damage. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest.
Your Honor, if I may be heard.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tobias has lived in Florida 47 years. He lives in Fort Lauderdale with his grandmother. I'm requesting that the court lower his bond amount.
Court will set bond on count 1 at $750, count 2, $750.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Eddie Rancher. Looks like a capias is holding you.
I believe actually, Your Honor, that's going to be a medical reset in North Broward.
Hey, it's medical reset?
Yes, he is.
Sounds good, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. Tyrone Freeman.
Name jail, Your Honor. You were here yesterday, right?
You're being held on a violation of probation. I reviewed the warrant. Court does find probable cause for the arrest. You'll see Judge Duffy on the 20th. There's a no bond hold.
Your Honor, Mr. Freeman does have one question. He was here yesterday for magistrates as well, so he's wondering why he's here again for magistrates.
Oh, I don't know.
Just wasn't on the docket yesterday.
Oh, Mr. Dessler said you weren't on the docket
What
yesterday.
is that this charge wasn't?
Oh, this
This is
charge
count
is-
7,
Is
so
it a new charge?
it's a VOP, so I'm guessing it just was left off.
You had previous charges
Okay.
yesterday?
Yeah.
You had new charges yesterday.
Thank you.
All right, Donald Dixon? No, strike that, strike that. Juan Correa,
Main jail.
yep. Mr. Correa, you've been arrested for burglary, petty theft, possession of cannabis under 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting without violence. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. State, any priors?
No priors, Judge.
Your Honor, consider there's no priors. He's currently is employed. He's lived in Florida 14 years. He lives with his mother. Requesting that he be set on pretrial standard.
No, it's not gonna be standard. Be, pre-trial with monitoring. What's the difference? You work?
Yes, sir.
Where you work?
Ando.
Who?
It's a warehouse, Your Honor. Ando, I think he said.
Ando.
When do you
Ando?
work? What are your hours?
My hours are from 5 to 9.
Level 2. Level 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Jared Wright. Been arrested for possession of cocaine, driving while license suspended, failure to wear a safety belt, running a red light or disobeying stop sign, failure to display vehicle registration, no proof of insurance, and you got a couple of VOPs from Judge Uson. Violation of probation for the record. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. Besides the VOPs, state, any other priors?
He was reckless driving in 2017, carry concealed firearm, and possession of cannabis in 2018.
Thank you.
And that's outside the two VOPs.
Oh, it's outside, okay.
Those are just separate and apart.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hancock. Ms. Sundar,
Your Honor, my client has, obviously I'm asking for a low bond if one is said, or if not, standard pretrial. He has told me recently that his grandma passed away on November 9th, and her funeral is this upcoming Friday.
okay, well, you're gonna see Judge Uson on the 20th. Tell Judge Uson he'll decide the issues for the VOP. I'm gonna set a bond for count 1, the possession of cocaine, at $750. And for driving while license suspended, ROR, and the others are traffic offenses. I don't think bonds apply to the traffic offenses.
No, Judge.
All right. You got me? Terrence Obus.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Mr. Obus, you've been arrested for driving under the influence, second offense, driving under the influence with property damage. It's 2 counts of 3 counts of driving under the influence with property damage or a person, or damage to another person. Thank you. Refusal to submit to a DUI test. 64 counts of possession of, they say possession with intent to sell narcotics, essentially. Looks like they separate charges for each pill based on what I reviewed in the probable cause affidavit and leaving the scene of the crash. State, what's any priors?
Yes, Judge. His priors are 2016 driving on license suspended, 2015 habitual driving on license suspended, 2014 possession of cannabis, 2011 resisting without violence, 2010 possession of cocaine, tampering with evidence, resisting with violence, 2010 driving on license suspended, 2010 DUI, 2010 possession of cannabis, 2008 possession of cocaine, fleeing and eluding, and that appears to be it.
When it comes to the
driver's license, have you seen his driving record? It's horrible. It's a habitual traffic offender, 5 years revocation. Awful. Then we got driving under the influence charges on his record as well. All right, go ahead, sir.
And when it comes to the 64 counts, I have a couple of different issues with it. One, that they charge it with possession with intent. I don't see any intent whatsoever. The difference is because they're charging it with intent, they made it third-degree felonies. If it's just possession, it would be second-degree misdemeanor. The other issue that I have is that it's 64 separate counts, whereas it's one pill bottle with arguably one prescription. To me, the way they're charging it doesn't make sense. That the incentive and how the officer seems to be charging it is you're better off having 1,000 milligram pill rather than 10 half milligram pills, because then if you have the 10 half milligram pills, even though it's less, you're being charged 10 separate times. It just doesn't make sense in how they're charging it. And so I'd object to 63 of the counts. In the one count that would remain, I would object to the fact that they're charging it as a felony with intent. I think it should be a second-degree misdemeanor with just the possession.
State?
Judge, I mean, as far as the actual charge, I mean, that's something my office will look into as far as actually filing the charges. I think with his previous record and everything else, I would recommend to the court that the bond remain the same on all of them, and if, yeah.
Your Honor, and if I may
Yes, ma'am.
interject,
Yes, Ms. Sundar.
my client also does have a prescription for these pills.
Okay. All right, the court will set bond for count 1, DUI, second offense, $5,000. DUI with property damage, the 3 counts will be $500 each. Refusal to submit will remain at $100, the standard bond. And count 6, possession with intent will be 1,000. Possession of cannabis under 20 is 100. False ID to law enforcement, 25. Pretrial release on all counts, including counts 9. This is with monitoring, by the way. 9 through 71. Leaving scene of the crash, 200. Y'all got me? Does he work, Ms. Sundar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where you work?
I work at a temp agency.
He works at a temp agency, so whatever ticket they give him that day, he goes out and does that job, Your Honor. He's lived in Florida 31 years, and he lives with his grandmother.
How's he gonna get out and do the job?
Your Honor, I would request that he be released on pretrial.
Yeah, pretrial's fine, but how's he gonna get to the job? Because he's not driving.
Well, Your Honor, I'm hoping that he does Uber or Lyft or a bus or the Bright Line. There are many options.
Yeah. No driving at all. No driving a car, no driving a scooter, no driving a bicycle, no driving a skateboard, nothing.
So someone else has to drive, okay? He understands, Your Honor, thank you.
All right.
79.25 is your total.
700. What's that, 10% of this? So, 700.
I don't know, you're gonna.
No driving. You understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
No
I
driving.
understand.
Don't even drive anybody crazy. You hear it?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. Hold on.
Hold on.
No, it's pre-trial for all those. Just pre-trial for all those. Correct. Yes. All right. No bond for, pre-trial for the other possession counts. All right. You're good. See you later. See you later. You're good. David Rice.
Yes, Your Honor, main jail.
Mr. Rice, you've been charged with burglary.
79.25. Almost
Burglary with battery. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. State, any priors?
Yes, Judge. It does appear that Mr. Royce has a pending case in front of Judge Dennis Bailey, which is a burglary occupied dwelling, case number 1813980. Additionally, Judge, he had in 2009 an aggravated stalking and a burg dwelling. He was adjudicated on the 2006 violation of protective injunction, 2007 violation of domestic violence, 2004 battery, strike, resisting without violence, 2003 DUI, 2003 another violation of domestic violence.
All right, I heard enough. What, you said there's a case pending with Judge Bailey?
Yes, Judge. Case number 1813980.
Who's doing this? Ms. Sundar? Mr. Dessler? Who's got this?
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm requesting that he be released on pretrial.
Nope.
He's currently.
Nope. Anything else?
Your Honor, he's currently in a halfway house. He does have a job. He's requesting access to his cell phone contacts.
All right, the court will grant access to the cell phone, but the court will set a bond. State, I didn't hear your recommendation for a bond.
Judge, this is a crime punishable by life. We'd ask the court find proof evident presumption great and hold him no bond for right now. He will be assigned to Judge Dennis Bailey where he already has a pending case open.
All right, the court will not make that finding at this time. I'll let Judge Bailey make that determination. The court will set a bond at $25,000.
We'll make no determination.
Randall Rush. Mr. Rush, good morning, sir. You've been arrested for possession of cocaine, operating without a valid driver's license, speeding, and you got a violation of probation from Judge Fine's division. You're going to be held no bond on the violation of probation, and the court will set bond for count one at $750. I'll keep the $25 bonds for operating without valid license, and the speeding does not require a bond. You'll see Judge Fine on the 20th, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, he'll take care of that.
Williams, Jackinson?
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
All right, sir. Thank you. You've been charged with possession of cannabis with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a park. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit and does find probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state?
None that I can see, Judge.
None? All right. Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, considering he has no priors, he's currently living with his family, with his mother. He's lived here 19 years. He's currently unemployed. I'd ask for him to be ROR'd, and if the court is not inclined, to reduce the bond amount.
I'll do a pretrial release
Thank you, Your Honor.
without monitoring. Devontae Holliday. Mr. Holliday, you've been held on a violation of probation. The court has reviewed the warrant, finds probable cause for the arrest. Looks like you were just put on probation this June for 36 months. You allege that you committed had some run-ins with law enforcement in Palm Beach County. All right. You'll see Judge McCarthy on the 20th, all right?
Yes, sir.
Without no bond. She'll talk to you. All right now. Marvin Hogan?
North Broward, sir.
North Broward. Hey, Mr. Hogan, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
What? Let me see.
Hey, Miss Sundar, you mind putting it on mute? Thank you. Mr. Hogan, you've been Marvin Hogan.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
No, yeah, yes, sir. Have we ever met before?
I think you was my public defender before.
I think
sir.
so too.
I'm so sorry.
Marvin Hogan. I'm like, hey.
I'm so sorry, sir.
We don't talk about the
You don't have
facts,
to
sir.
apologize to me, sir. I want to reset you for tomorrow, all right? There's going to be a different judge to take care of you. I don't want the state saying that I'm looking out for you or anything, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you'll come back tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, man.
Hey, you take care. I see you doing much better.
I'm trying to do something, man. I hope you do better, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Remind me to tell you about that. Cedric Newsom.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Mr. Newsom, good morning, sir.
Asking how you're doing.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm all right. Let me read what you got here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see it.
Oh, you got a violation of probation. All right, the court has reviewed the warrant for the violation of probation. You also got a capias for possession of cannabis under 20 grams. Look, you're being held no bond for the violation of probation before Judge Bailey. There's a bond for the misdemeanor of $500. The court will keep those in place, all right? You'll see Judge Bailey on Tuesday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
Hey, take care. Tony Banks,
No problem.
North Brown.
Reed?
Mr. Banks, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Lord. All right, you've been held on the violation of probation from Judge Cara. He's going to see you on Tuesday because this court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause to hold you. And so you'll see Judge Cara on Tuesday.
All right, yes, sir.
All right. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Is he-
There you go. That foolishness, that suck, there won't be none.
Kristen Reed.
Main jail, Your Honor.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Mr. Reed, you've been arrested for possession with intent to sell cannabis, possession of ecstasy, operating without a valid driver's license. You also got a violation of probation or community control. Let me see here. From Judge Siegel. Yeah, the court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit for possession of cannabis. Possession of ecstasy, and for the violation of probation, and does find probable cause. You're being held no bond for the violation of probation.
Your Honor, although he is being held on a no bond hold on count 4, would the court be inclined to lower his bond amounts on count 1 and 2?
A lower count 1 and 2 to $750 each. Count 3, the operating without license, will be $25.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You take care. You'll see Judge Siegel on Tuesday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thanks.
Marcus Kobe.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Mr. Kobe, you've been held for possession of controlled substance and, one moment, sir. One is possession of cocaine, one is possession of cannabis under 20 grams. The court reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. Any priors?
No, Judge, and that is all.
Your Honor, if I may.
Does he work?
Your Honor,
I do handyman stuff.
he's
Handyman
done
stuff?
odd jobs, handyman,
All right. How long you lived in Broward?
My whole life.
his whole life, Your Honor.
I do, no priors.
And I see, Judge.
ROR.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mackinson Mireus.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Just like this Capias. Looks like. Yep. You got a Capias from Judge Bailey.
I believe it's a not in custody, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I believe it's a not in custody capias, so I believe this is his magistrate date.
Is what date?
So this is his magistrate date, even though it's a capias, I believe it was a not in custody information.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that he missed court, it's just he's never been through court before on this charge.
That's correct.
Mr. Morales, you've been arrested for burglary of a unoccupied structure. Looks like a business, a shop that sells wigs and extensions. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state?
Yes, Judge, in 2013, fleeing and looting, 2012, burglary unoccupied dwelling, and another 2012, burglary unoccupied dwelling, grand theft, resisting with violence, and that's it.
Do you know if there's any sentence involved with those?
The adjudication was on the attempted, the fleeing and looting. Looks like a withheld was on the burglary of a dwelling. He was given probation. On the other burg dwelling, he was withheld as well.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Sundar?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Marius recently had a child. The baby was born Monday. He has lived in Florida 21 years. He does have a job at A1 Detailing, I'm sorry. And his family is here as well.
All right. What's your recommendation for bond state?
Judge, my recommendation would be $3,500, given the nature of his previous history with burglaries.
Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, we're asking if you can reduce it to the 3,000 standard amount.
I'll do 3,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
James Guerriere?
Yes, sir.
Approaching, Your Honor.
Can I bag it back to you when we're done? Mr. Guerriere?
Yes, sir.
All right, you've been held for violation of probation.
Yes, sir.
The court has reviewed the warrant. All right, the court does find probable cause for to hold you no bond for the violation of probation. You'll see Judge Porth on Tuesday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Howard Schultz?
Good morning, Your Honor, I am.
Hey, where you at? North Broward?
I am right where I am at, North Broward, I believe, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, you're being held, Mr. Schultz, on, you got some capias and a warrant for a failure to register.
To register, I vote.
Your Honor, I think
you
it's
didn't
a
you
failure
didn't,
to
Redeliver a hired vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It's failure to redeliver a hired vehicle.
Failure to redeliver a hired vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Oh, the warrants. Oh, the
I
warrants.
had a U-Haul and they
Don't
got-
talk about the facts,
Yeah,
Mr. Schultz.
don't
worry.
talk about the case, but it looks like you didn't communicate with pretrial. Is that what's going on?
Sir, I've been hospitalized.
Mr. Schultz, I'm going to talk on your behalf, okay? It's Mr. Desser. I spoke to you earlier, okay? He's been in and out of the hospital, Your Honor. He's had pneumonia. He was, from what he told me, he was homeless and without a phone. Since he's gotten out of the hospital, he's found an address that he's living at. He does have the phone now. But from my understanding, that he was in the hospital for some time with the pneumonia. He is 76 years old. And so I believe he was maybe out of contact with them, but now he's in better shape where he's able to actually keep in contact. Given his condition, apparently he's still not feeling well from when I spoke to him this morning. Since he is 76 and he is having some medical maladies, I'm not sure being in custody is the best for him. I understand the situation with the judges and the warrants that they signed. I'm asking, Your Honor, if you would consider any kind of release, even with electronic monitoring, just so that he's not sitting in custody.
Judge, I'd recommend the bond that is set already. It should be noted that his failure to comply with the pretrial was simply calling in twice a week. It wasn't necessarily him appearing or anything like that. All he had to do was call in, and he failed to do that. So because of that, I'd recommend the $2,500 bond, Judge.
Your Honor, it's difficult to call from a hospital when you have no phone numbers to call. With all due respect to the district attorney, I am asking you kindly, sir, to please release me all my medication, 11 of them I have in my home that I take morning and night, life-saving medications.
Okay. As to, all right, the KPS for the unlawful assembly shall set bond at $25.
May I ask what that charge is, sir? I have no idea what that means.
Well, you'll see a judge on the 21st. You'll go to Judge, you need to go to Judge Gottlieb, Ken Gottlieb, on the 21st.
My attorney advised me some other judge this morning.
I know, you haven't let me finish.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
All right. And then let's see, the failure to redeliver a hired vehicle. There's a KPS. It says not for magistrate. What does that mean? Is there no bond on that?
They were repaid.
No, not you, not you, not you. Don't talk anymore.
Oh,
Don't talk
okay.
anymore, all right? I got Mr. Dessler here. He's better at it.
I believe it says that because it was a warrant from pretrial, because pretrial was going to ask Your Honor to revoke, and that's why.
Yeah.
It's different than if he came through on a new law alone. That's my understanding.
Yeah,
From what I see is,
They were aware he was in the hospital back in July, and she tried to make contact with him at a number he provided to them after the hospital stay and was unable to get in contact with him. She violated him back in the office.
Okay.
and just so you're aware, the count 3, charge 3 is for the warrant for the pretrial. Count 2 is the actual KPS for failure to appear at arraignment on November 14th.
When was the arraignment, do you know?
November 14th, Judge, in front of Judge Duffy, and that's where the no bond KPS is issued.
Okay. All right, you know what? I'll just let Judge Duffy take care of it. You'll see Judge Duffy on the 20th. All right?
Well, can I be released before that, Your Honor? Please, I have my medications in my home.
Well, I know the jail has to give you medications if you need them, but it's going to be no bond pursuant to the KPS for failure to redeliver a hired vehicle, and the warrant for the pretrial.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry.
you
No, not you,
always-
not you. Don't talk anymore. Oh, so when he was, but there's still a KPS for the, okay. All right, and the $2,500 KPS for the warrant for the violation of pretrial will remain. All right, take care. Thank you, sir. Back to Maine.
The only other thing I'm asking for, Your Honor, is just an order just for him to get a medical evaluation, just.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's granted, sir. Emmanuel St. Louis.
Your Honor, on Mr. Emmanuel St. Louis, we'd like to waive the reading of the charges.
Okay.
And just for the court to take notice, he is a Creole speaker. If I speak slowly, he understands and he wants to take care of this today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, I would just ask if we reset this tomorrow then for an actual interpreter, although if we speak slowly, he may understand given the nature of the charges and the fact that the state would be asking him to be held no bond. I'd ask the court to reset it for Monday.
Yeah, you may be better off with a different judge. We'll reset this tomorrow.
I would
Thank
say
you, Your Honor.
that's his option. It's I mean,
Your
that's
Honor,
what.
my client would
Because
prefer
then
to
what
do it
happens?
now.
No, what happens is that the next thing you know, he says he doesn't understand. We'll get a Creole interpreter tomorrow.
But again, Your Honor, for the court, my client would prefer to do it now.
I'm concerned that I don't want any issues with him claiming that he didn't understand what took place.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
So you'll come back tomorrow.
The issue is
Yeah,
that
that's
he's.
over counsel's objection.
The issue is that he's going to be held no bond without the magistrate. Hearing still pending. He's before us today. I understand your concerns.
Okay. You know what? It's bond. You know what? Let me get it St. Louis back. It's okay. Let me get something else back. No, it's no bond. Yes. All right. Mr. St. Louis, the court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit. The court does find probable cause for the arrest. When you say waive reading, Ms. Sundar, do you mean the charges as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You've gone over the charges with him,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you have those in front of you, all the charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
The 4 counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court does find probable cause for the arrest. State?
Judge, as to counts 1, 2, and 3, the state would be asking Your Honor at this time to find proof evident presumption great to hold him no bond. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are crime punishable by life, and we're asking the court to hold him no bond so that he may appear in front of his division judge to have an Arthur hearing. It's to be noted that his place of birth, he is from Haiti. He is only 6 months of residence at the address listed. I think in the report it indicates that.
Got it. Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Ryan Dessler has an argument to make.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make a superfluous argument. Are you making the finding of proof and presumption great? Or?
Yes, I am. The court does find proof evident presumption great to hold him no bond until further order of the court.
So, Your Honor, I would object to that finding on this case, having reviewed the probable cause affidavit. My biggest issue with the probable cause affidavit before us today is there's nothing in this probable cause affidavit that states that any statement made to any officer was actually sworn. And so all we have today is hearsay in form of the probable cause affidavit. We have no live testimony. We have no tape testimony. We have nothing in the probable cause affidavit that says any testimony given to any officer, any statement given to an officer was sworn. And I understand the charges are very serious and are very serious allegations. However, the fact that there's nothing that's sworn in this probable cause affidavit gives us no protection or any security for the truth in the matter before us today. And so I would object for him to be held no bond, and Your Honor to find proof and presumption great, which goes beyond a reasonable doubt standard without having any indica of a sworn statement.
Well, that's something you can take up with the division judge. This order is signed without prejudice. So you can file a motion, set a hearing before the division judge. But this court does find proof evidence presumption great to hold him without bond pursuant to State versus Arthur. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, just to be clear, is there going to be a bond amount as to count 4?
Thank you, sir. $25,000.
Thank you, Judge.
No victim contact. Calfani Bernard.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Today, no problem.
Mr. Bernard, good morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, how you doing today, Judge?
I'm all right. You've been charged with resisting arrest with violence, obstruction without violence, and loitering and prowling. Okay. The court does find probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state?
Judge, he does have a pending case in front of Judge McCarthy, case number 1812940, for resisting with violence. He was on pretrial release on that case.
We're asking that it be revoked due to the cause of this case.
All right, pretrial is revoked in 1812940 CF10A. Mr. Dessler, what do you?
Actually, what I'm trying to see is that's still an unfiled case. Now, I was trying to see if it's been over 30 days that it was still unfiled. It's going to be day 29. I would ask, Your Honor, even if you're going to revoke, I would ask if you would set a monetary bond on that case. As for the cases before us, if Your Honor was going to hold him no bond, I just would ask maybe for $1,000 as to count one. Having talked to Mr. Bernard, his only source of income is Social Security disability. He lives with his mother who cares for him, and he's lived in South Florida for over 10 years.
All right, it's going to be held no bond for 1812940 CF10A. And bond for count one on this arrest is 1,000. Count two is 100, and 100 on count three. Thank you, sir.
Thank you there, Judge.
All right. You good? Okay. Larkin Sandoval.
I believe he bonded, Your Honor.
You bonded?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have Felix Santiago in main jail.
Okay. Mr. Santiago, good morning, sir. You've been arrested for possession of methamphetamine. Court's reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state?
2006, Grand Theft Auto, driving while license suspended. 2002, unlawful use of false name, possession of cannabis. And 2001, driving while license suspended, resisting without violence.
All right. Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, my client has lived in Florida 15 years. He's currently unemployed and he lives with his cousin. I'm also requesting access to his property. And if the court can leave the bond as is, client is fine with that.
Sounds good. $1,000 bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Terrell Pierre.
Judge, the next two, yeah, I think, and same with Tia.
Yeah, we already did.
Yes, Your Honor.
We did Terrell, we did Darren. Benjamin Caesar.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Been arrested for grand theft, 2 counts of grand theft, possession of cannabis under 20 grams, and possession of anti-shoplifting device.
Mitchell. Go.
Court's reviewed the probable cause affidavits, finds probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state?
Your Honor.
Hold on, Ms. Sundar. Any prior state?
Yes, Judge, he does have a pending case in front of Judge Bober, case number 1810338, CF10A, possession of firearm by a convicted felon.
In that
carrying-
Rockport?
Yes, Judge.
All right, go ahead.
And then additionally, previous in 2009, 3 counts of burg dwelling, grand theft, resisting without violence. Another 2009, burg dwelling, 2003, possession of cocaine.
I get it.
Okay.
What are you recommending?
Judge, on this pending case, the grand theft, I would ask the court to increase to a $3,500 bond. And then counts 2, 3, and 4, state recommends what the bond is listed as.
All right, Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, I'd request that all bonds be left as they are. The 1,000 on counts 1, 2, and 4, and the 3 to be left at the 100. He's lived in Florida all his life. He has on and off jobs and maintenance and cutting grass, Your Honor.
I hear you, but the record's not that good, and it's allegedly took place in front of his kids. All right, the court's gonna set bond from count 1 at $3,500. Count 1 will remain at 1,000. Count 3 and will remain at 100. Count 4 will be $750.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mitchell Jones. Okay. He bonded. Reviewed the probable cause affidavit, finds probable cause. Glenn DaCosta.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Hey, y'all guys.
So I'm guessing it wouldn't be.
Mr. DaCosta, you've been arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell, possession of cannabis under 20 grams, expired tag, and you got an out-of-county hold for possession of cannabis. I think it's out of Martin County.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court finds probable cause for the arrest. The out-of-county hold, I can't do anything on. It's no bond.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
understand that count 4 is an out-of-county hold from Martin County, and would the court be inclined to ROR him on count 1s, and then count, I guess, pretrial, if not, and let him turn himself in to Martin County? He is under the impression, and he has told me he hired a private attorney to deal with that, and he thought that was taken care of.
Well,
And he will need access to property in order to contact that attorney.
Well, he can have access to his cell phone in order to get the phone number for his attorney. Is the Martin County hold, is that no bond? Okay, so I'll,
Judge, and if I may, just before you.
yes, sir.
He does have a pending case number 188970, CF10A, with possession of cannabis with intent to distribute. That is pending, that he's out on bond on.
All right, count 1, $100 bond. Count 2, $750. The expired tag does not require a bond. And he can have access to his phone in order to contact his lawyer. All right, anything else for that one? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. DaCosta. What's that Another one from you? You sign?
Thank you, Judge Frank.
All right. Eric Simmons.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Charged with possession of cocaine. Court's reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. You were arrested with Mr. Beal. What's his prior state?
Judge, he has a previous 2007 delivery of cocaine, resisting without violence. 2006 grand theft auto, possession of cocaine, resisting without violence. 2004 possession of cocaine, and 2 different cases in 2003 for grand theft auto.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, I'd request that he be released on standard pretrial for this possession of cocaine.
Not based on his priors. All set bond.
Your Honor, I would like the court to take into account that the priors are felonies. However, they are most of them are very, I guess you would say, older.
Older cases?
Yeah.
I've noted that.
And again, he does have a job. He works at GNF Equipment Rental, and he has children that he does take care of.
Okay.
Judge, just so your honor is aware, he had been in prison for sentenced to 100 months, 110 months for possession with intent to distribute crack cocaine, and that was in 2011. So he's recently been released.
Okay. $750.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Robert Gordon.
I believe that's a medical loan, so a medical reset.
Medical reset for Robert Gordon. Vladimir Baez.
Bonded out, Your Honor.
Great.
Rodriguez.
Joseph Rodriguez.
And main jail, Your Honor.
Then charged Mr. Rodriguez with possession of cannabis with intent to sell. You also got a couple violation of probation charges here. Allegedly on probation until 2020 for possession of cannabis over 20 grams. All right. Court finds probable cause for the arrest. As to count 1, I'll set bond at $750. You held no bond on the violation of probations. You'll see Judge Coleman on the 20th.
Your Honor, I'm requesting access to property under VSO supervision so he may access his cell phone contacts.
Granted.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Daniel Atkinson.
Medical reset.
North Broward, Your Honor.
Medical reset for Mr. Atkinson. Thank you, North Broward. Lindsay Levine. Mr. Levine, you've been charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of cannabis under 20 grams. Court reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. Any prior state besides the prior conviction?
Yes, Judge, the prior conviction was for the armed burglary conveyance, aggravated battery with a firearm, discharge, and 2 counts of aggravated assault.
Okay.
And he also has open cases in Georgia. One is from August of this year, and the other one's from February.
From Georgia?
Yes, theft by shoplifting in February, and marijuana possession, and on August 15th, April 11th, he also had the marijuana possession.
Okay. There any holds right now? Or is it just open?
Just open.
They don't know. Okay. Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, I'd like to argue there's no PC in this case in regards to the possession of weapon count 1.
I'd like to hear that argument. See
Your
how
Honor,
that
this
goes.
is a rental car
Uh-huh.
rented by the girlfriend. There was multiple occupants at the time and at various moments of that day. And again, the same argument in regards to the possession of cannabis. Center console, multiple occupants.
State?
Judge, as far as any constructive possession argument, I don't think is necessarily appropriate at the time of magistrate. I think that's something to be considered in a motion later on down the road. But what's in front of your honor is the probable cause affidavit that indicates there was marijuana in the car, he was the driver of the vehicle, and there was a firearm located within reach of the defendant.
Your Honor, my client was not the driver, he was a prompt passenger.
Yeah, the PC says that Ms.
That's
Wood
true.
was the driver of the vehicle. He was the front passenger. The gun was allegedly found in the glove compartment, so that was in front of him. The court does find probable cause for the arrest. The court will set bond on count 1 at $5,000, count 2, 100.
Your Honor, would the court be inclined to lower that amount? My client has lived in Florida all his life. He's currently unemployed and he lives with his mother. If not, we request pretrial, Your Honor.
No, not based on his priors, not based on this stuff out of Georgia. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. 10% of it.
Zachary Forehand. Mr. Forehand, you've been arrested for possession of THC. Isn't that marijuana? State?
Yes, Judge. The way it's
Go ahead.
charged as it's the oil, the THC aspect, so it's charged as a third-degree felony rather than a misdemeanor.
Okay. All right, I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. Unfortunately, you got a VOP on you too, from Judge Fine. I'll set count 1's bond at $500. But you gotta go
Thank you, Your
before Judge Fine for those violations of probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
May Mr. Forehand have access to his cell phone contacts under PSO supervision, Your Honor?
Who does he need to call?
My lawyer,
His lawyer,
Who's that?
Rick.
Rick.
Who's Rick? Rick who?
Oh, yeah, I don't know his last
He
name.
doesn't remember his last name, but he knows his name is Rick, Your Honor. My client has advised.
Is it saved as Rick under your phone?
Yeah,
Yes.
I hope that's the only Rick.
it's
All
a
right.
Rick lawyer.
Oh, it says Rick Lawyer? Okay, all right. The motion's granted. You can have access to your phone in order to get your number for Rick Lawyer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Only. Samuel Love?
Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Paul Ryan. Good morning, Mr. Love.
Good morning.
Some juvenile holds. What's going on with these, State?
Looking at it right now, Judge, looks like they're all no bond holds right now.
Oh, yeah, we got some orders to take you into custody. Mr. Love. All right, sir. So you got to be seen before the division judge. How old are you?
18.
Yeah, these are 2015. 2015 case numbers. And these orders were entered on November 14th. Mr. Dessler?
I have no objection, Your Honor. There, if you notice, these are counts 5 through whatever
Yeah.
it goes to, that he picked up charges as an adult, and he had these pending. Just so you know, Mr. Love, I sent an email within my office. You're probably going to get in front of the juvenile judge in the next couple of days, and then you'll be able to bond out on the adult charges.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Billy Goings.
Medical research, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thomas Morin,
Yes, Your Honor.
North Broward.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Being held on charge of grand theft, it looks like, Mr. Goings. Mr.
No,
Morin.
Mr. Morin.
Mr. Morin.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. All right, the court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit for the arrest of grand theft and does find probable cause for the arrest.
How was that?
State, any priors?
Yes, Judge, he has a failure to comply with an order, looks like a misdemeanor that's currently open. I'm not quite sure what that order is, but 2015 grand theft, criminal use of personal ID. 2016. And I can't see, 2007 DUI, 2007 violation of county ordinances, 2 counts of trespass, 2006. In 2006, there's about another 4 violation of county ordinances, and they're mostly trespass. Judge, he does have a 2001 battery, felony, great bodily harm, and previous to that, some possession cocaine cases.
All right.
Your Honor, he's also on pretrial for grand theft case number 180136332. He was placed on November 13th, and we're asking that it be revoked.
All right, pre-trial's revoked. And case number 1813632 will be held no bond on that charge until you're seen by the judge. And on this case, you got a $750 bond.
Jared, can you tell me who the judge is on this case and my other case?
Anybody know?
I believe it'll be Judge McCarthy, but I will double check.
Okay.
While the state's doing that, Your Honor, I'm going to request 2 orders. One's going to be a photo order. From my understanding, Mr. Morin has some sort of injury to his wrist. The other order, I'm going to ask for a mental health evaluation after my conversation with Mr. Morin this morning.
Granted, that's for both.
And yes, Judge, it is in front of Judge McCarthy as of right now.
Judge McCarthy,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you take care. PD's office is going to be out to take some pictures of you.
Thank you.
All right. Xavier Nelson. Is that- North Broward?
How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, there you go. Mr. Nelson, you've been arrested for grand theft auto. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Burglary, unoccupied conveyance, grand theft, and illegal use of credit card. Court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit. Does find probable cause. State?
Priors, Judge, include, it appears he has a pending grand theft auto and driving while license suspended. Case number 1813456, CF10A. Additionally, he has another possession of cannabis pending 189535 MM10A. 2009, he had burglary, conveyance, unoccupied, petty theft, driving while license suspended. 2013, he was arrested for a grand theft auto, but he was charged with driving while license suspended. 2009, false imprisonment, battery.
All right, I get it. What are you recommending?
Judge, at this time, I would recommend the $1,000 bond as to count 1, and count 2, I'd recommend a $1,500 bond. Count 3 and 4 would be the same.
Pre-trial for the case number 1801346 CF10A. He was placed on November 1st. We're asking that it be revoked.
All right, pretrial is revoked on 1813456 CF10A. He held no bond on those.
I want to bring your attention or make you aware of a medical situation for Mr. Nelson, but can we go on mute? I just don't want it to be broadcast.
You want to, let me see here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, good. There you go. Good idea.
Situation, Your Honor, I would ask if you would consider setting a monetary bond on the case that he was already out on pretrial on, just so he can get home, just so he's not in custody. With the situation, they could go get that handled.
You know, I hear you, but my only thing is that he's already out, and given pretrial, he's out on pretrial because he had another charge, and he picks up a new charge. So that's the reason for the court's ruling. The court will enter or set bond for the new charges. Count 1, 1,000. Count 2, 1,000. Count 3, 1,000. Count 4, 1,000.
And I'm going to ask for a photo order just for photographs of the injuries and also for a medical evaluation. From my understanding, he has a bit of an infection.
Granted, as to both, sir. Take care, sir. All right. Tavares Hill.
He's a medical reset, Your Honor. We had him down, but he got sick, so we had to take him back.
And Brian Phoenix.
Main jail, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Phoenix.
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
Good.
Been charged with possession of ecstasy. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit, does find probable cause for the arrest. The court sets bond. What do you want, Ms. Sundar?
Your Honor, I'd like for my client to be released, no bond, pre-trial.
All right.
I mean, I'm sorry, he can't afford a bond. He's homeless. He's lived in Florida 25 years. Whatever bond amount is, that he won't be able to afford it. So if we could just do standard pretrial.
Mr. Hancock, what's his priors?
Priors, Judge, 2018 trespass that he pled out in October, and then 2 other previous trespasses. He had an arrest for drug possession, but it was declined. I don't see anything else.
All right, I'll release him on his own recognizance.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, make sure you keep up with the court dates, because if a court date is issued, then, and you miss it, then you're gonna get a capias.
Okay, I
All right.
promise you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else, Mr. Hancock?
Judge, I don't think so. I just got to get you a couple orders on a couple of cases you revoked.
Ms. Sundar?
We're done here, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Dessler, anything else, sir?
Just the orders that I'm finishing up, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So, Mr. Dessler, you'll appreciate this. I represented Marvin Hogan years ago in Rockport. How do I do that?